This is a little tiny USB mood light designed to plug into a USB port and provide illumination in multiple colours, but its original intended purpose is, to quote from the listing, its title is Mini RGB USB LED Car Light Interior Mood Neon Atmosphere Ambient Lamp Wireless, and they show it plugged into USB outlets on the dashboard for illumination. Nice. Now this thing has a dusk sensor. I didn't know that initially. It was very hard getting to grips with this. It also has no documentation. It's got a single button that has multiple functions and 2 RGB LEDs, the type you'd find on video walls. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to have to plug it into this port and then going to have to turn the lights off. So initially it's ramped up to, oh no it's not, well it is, it's light sensors kicking in and it's sort of turn the light on and off. So I'm going to have to turn the lights off to show you this going through its colour sequence. One moment please, I'll just set that up right now. Here we go. So initially it's set to the red mode. It has multiple colours it can go through. We've got one click, makes it dim down, come back up in yellow. And then another click comes up a sort of like what they call fluorescent green, which is reasonable enough, it looks fluorescent green. The next click is green, just the bare green chips. Oh, that's bright. Then the next click is to cyan, they call that ice blue, quite a nice colour, one of my favourite colours of these. Then it comes that deep blue, that is just the pure blue from the LEDs, and then comes magenta, I think, which is the red and the blue chips, and then their interpretation of white, which is just basically whatever colour it came out. It's not bad, it looks a very cold white, doesn't it? And if you press it again, it starts going through a little colour sequence and doing various things. It just basically ramps up and down through all the different colours. Now there is another mode here. If I go back to, say for instance, let's go to a nicer colour. So let's go to the cyan one. There we go. If you double click it, it starts ramping up and down. If you double click it again, while it's at one of its levels, it's basically in intensity mode. So if you choose, say for instance, the lowest level and double click it there, it'll stop that. And when you select other colours from now on, they'll just be at that level. You've basically set the master intensity level. Double click it again. It starts ramping up and down again, catch to the top this time. And it's at the full brightness. It has another feature. If you press and hold, it fades away and it stays off. Press and hold, it fades up again and it's back. Right, okay, one moment please. I'm just about to bring it's gone into the intensity mode again. Okay, I'm bringing the light back. Watch your eyes. Okay, time to start taking it to bits. So let's zoom down a bit in this, and then I shall get the spudger in. I don't think there's any hardware. I think it really is just a friction fit. Not really sure. We'll find out when I break it. Oh, that bit's come off. That bit has come off. And it's one of those combined circuit board and... Is this going to come out at all? It's just slid out. Oh, it's a plastic housing with the circuit board in it. Right, okay. So if I just pop that out now, that's quite neat actually. It reveals some resistors. I'll take a picture of both sides and we can explore it together. One moment please. Let's explore. So no great surprises, it's very straightforward. It's I'll zoom down this a little bit. It's the microcontroller, the classic 8-pin microcontroller, very similar pinout again to the PIC12, particularly because the pin that's not used is one that would normally be used as the programming voltage pin, the master reset pin, master clear pin. But it has effectively got 2 inputs. It's got the button input and it's got a light sensor, just basically photodiode in series with the resistor across the rails, which gives a voltage on the input depending on the light levels, which it may actually just be detecting a logic level change. We've got 2 of the video wall style RGB LEDs and they're in parallel, and there's 1 resistor per colour, red, green, blue, with a higher value of resistor for the red, which is 120 ohms and 91 ohms for the blue and green, and a decoupling capacitor. That is it. Let's take a look at the schematic. here is the schematic. I shall zoom down just a little bit further. So the USB connector only has two connections, positive and negative. It doesn't have the data pins connected, so it can't negotiate a higher voltage. I mention that because people will say, what if you plugged it into quick charge? Nothing will happen. They'll plug it, you have to actually negotiate via the data pins a higher voltage than 5 volts. So it's going to be 5 volts by default. I measured this in the circuit, this 24k resistor. Tricky because it's going to be affected by the input to the microcontroller and that the conductance of this and other stuff. So 24k is a rough value. It sounds about right for a potential divider, but there's the photodiode and there's the resistor that forms that potential divider. As the light increases, it effectively lowers the voltage across this, and that changes the state on the processor. As it gets darker, this will go higher resistance, and basically it will go positive to actually turn it on. The button, it's got an internal weak pull up, and the button just pulls that down to the 0 volt rail. And then we've got the 3 pairs of LEDs, red, green and blue, with the 120 ohm, 91, 91, and it's 20 milliamp per colour, so that when all are lit, well, when you've got pairs lit, say for instance magenta, you've got the red and blue, that's 40 milliamps. Cyan, my favourite of the colours there, well, the magenta's quite nice as well. The green and blue is about 40 milliamps, but if all three are lit for white, then it's 60 milliamps. But that's at full intensity. If you use the dimming down in this, if you actually control it by using that double click function to go into the intensity mode, you can then tame that down to a lower current. Not that you might want to, I don't think, because it's not pushing these LEDs too hard. Those LEDs there. I pointed at the left there because I was thinking of the actual schematic itself. Those LEDs. But that is it. It's notable on the circuit board, they did leave themselves one option. They left themselves another decoupling capacitor option in parallel with this one, which is useful enough. It's a good thing to do. That's that decoupling capacitor there. But that's it. A very simple and fairly neat, look at the size of it, it's tiny, little RGB mood light. Once you've actually worked out all the button combinations and the fact that it's got the light sensor, then it makes a lot more sense. Note that it can detect the light if it's on the borderline from the LEDs and the light sensor, and sometimes that makes it just ramp up and down at the sort of transition from one light level to another. But that is it. It's a nice little device, nicely designed. Not quite sure what you'd use it for, but it's a fairly neat implementation and useful just as a kind of novelty and a fun thing.